Hello everyone, welcome to Topper IS. So as a part of our daily series, today also we will be taking one topic from paper 2 and we will discuss it keeping in mind, mains. Okay, so let's get started. So today we are going to discuss Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI. Okay, so CBI is the main investigating agency of the central government and it was set up in 1963 by a resolution of Minister of Home Affairs. So CBI, a premier investigating agency of central government, set up through a resolution in 1963. And you can see here logo. So see the motto is industry, impartial in its working, be proficient in its work, impartial in its conduct of investigations, and be integral in the be honest to its stated objectives and while conduct of its affairs. Okay, integrity is nothing but consistency in your thought and actions. So with respect to CBI, consistent, it has to be consistent with its said objectives and while conducting the affairs, while conducting the investigations. Okay, so that's how you can relate. So let's get a few more important additional points you should know with respect to CBI are, that's what, like 1963, so it was established based on the recommendation of Santanam Committee on Prevention of Corruption. So in 1963, because of the recommendation of Santanam Committee on Prevention of Corruption, it was established. And what happened with the time is, CBI comes under the administrative control of DOPT, Department of Personnel and Training. This department is under the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions. So initially, as we seen, it was as a attached office under Ministry of Home Affairs, but later on it was shifted to under the administrative control of DOPT. And Ministry of Personnel and Public Grievances and Pensions is usually headed by Prime Minister. So within like with the Minister of State will be reporting to Prime Minister. So these are some few basic points with respect to CBI which can be asked even in the prelims. Okay, and even while writing mains, if anything question comes with respect to CBI, but obvious that you have to quote certain basic facts related to CBI. So this information will be useful while writing answers also. Okay. So next, coming to CBI and associated acts. See, like CBI is related to various acts, like it derives its power to investigate from Delhi Special Police Establishment Act 1946. So where does it get power from? It get powers to investigate from Delhi Special Police Establishment Act of 1946. And what it does, it also does, investigates offenses under Prevention of Corruption Act. So we have Act of 1988, Prevention of Corruption Act, which deals, which aims at preventing corruption in central government undertakings and all. So CBI also has a power to investigate offenses under this act. Okay. And one more act CBI is related to is with respect to Lokpal and Lokayukta Act 2013. So Lokpal and Lokayukta Act, it provides for manner of appointment of director of CBI. So we have a director of CBI, okay, who is heading the administration of this organization. So the manner of his appointment is given in under the Lokpal and Lokayuktas Act. So what according to this act, there has to be a 3-member committee that will appoint the director of CBI, and 3-member committee shall consist of Prime Minister, who will be the chairperson, and the leader of opposition of Lok Sabha as a second member, and third member will be Chief Justice of India or any judge of the Supreme Court nominated by Chief Justice of India. So you will have a panel, a 3-member committee to appoint who will be shortlisting the name for director of CBI. So in the importance is you see here. So it is getting powers through Delhi Special Police Establishment Act. It is also investigating cases under Prevention of Corruption Act, and manner of appointment is given under Lokpal and Lokayukta Act. So you see that if you analyze, most of the times certain bodies will be getting all their powers and all the things under a particular act. Okay, but see here, CBI is associated with different acts. The crux of it is, CBI do not has any specific law. Means there is no one specific law under which CBI is established. It is not like this. So CBI is not even a statutory body. Not even a statutory body. So remember this fact as well. So this is how you should analyze the things. Okay. So then next we have certain functions. So already we have seen, it was established based on the recommendation of Santanam Committee. And what was for Santanam Committee? Santanam Committee was set up for preventing corruption. So what it recommended, establish CBI to deal with the corruption issues. So that's why, so the primary motto of establishing CBI was to deal with corruption. So, but what has happened over the time, its functions have diversified. So from being an anti-corruption agency to a multifaceted, multidisciplinary central police law enforcement agency. So there is a diversification in its functions. So the functions are, divided into various divisions. Like we have anti-corruption division. Okay. So this division of CBI, what does it deal with? It deals with cases of corruption and fraud committed by public servants of central government departments, PSUs, and central financial institutions. Okay. And then we have economic crimes division of CBI. What does it do? It deals with, cases like bank frauds, financial frauds, import and export and foreign exchange violations, smuggling of narcotics, antiques, cultural property, smuggling of other contraband items. So this is a function of economic crimes division. And then you see special crimes division of CBI deals with cases of terrorism, bomb blast, sensational homicides, kidnapping for ransom and crimes committed by mafia and underworld. So you see there is a diversification initially as an anti-corruption agency, but now you have n number of functions that the CBI does. Okay. So these are the few important functions of the CBI. That's why it is called a premier investigating agency of the central government. Okay. But you see, so that is, there will be always some issues. So no system will be functioning 100% exactly according to its, said objectives. So we already see the motto of CBI is industry, impartiality, and integrity. So is this really, is it standing by those motto words? Let's see, like, there is a issue associated with the CBI. So one is political interference. So there is political interference in its activities. So moment this happens, where is the impartiality then? So obviously, because you see, you can see here, CBI, there is very often repeated, words of CBI, Supreme Court of India, whenever there is a discussion with respect to CBI. What Supreme Court said is, it is a CBI is a caged parrot speaking in its master's voice. So caged parrot. So parrot speaks the voice of his master, whatever its master says. So in the same way, what CBI is doing is CBI, acts according to the political government of the day, according to the political masters. So it is not being impartial. It is being partial in its functioning. So that is how it is. You can also make up from this diagram. See there, CBI is there, and a particular party is showing a faces of certain individuals. So CBI has to, start investigating against these individuals, like political motives in its actions. So that's what again statement is. It's a sordid saga that there are many masters and one parrot. So meaning of this is, always its activities are seen, politically motivated. The moment particular government comes, it will use CBI as a means to, uh, threaten other political parties or any other kind of dissent and all. This is was observed, and that's why, Supreme Court said that, CBI is nothing but a caged parrot speaking in its master's voice. So obviously its motto is defeated. It was saying impartial in its work, but this has been not adhered to. Okay. So one more issue with CBI we will see, like, CBI has lost the credibility. So how this is visible that CBI has lost a credibility? You see, like, state governments like Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal have withdrawn general consent given to CBI to investigate cases. See, what happens is, under the section 6 of DSP Act, Delhi Special Police Establishment Act, CBI needs the consent of the state government to investigate a case in the state. So before they start investigating, they need a consent of the state government. Generally, this is given by the states, but because there is a fear among the states that the central government is misusing the CBI, so with that fear, certain states like Andhra Pradesh and West Bengal have withdrawn the general consent that is given to the CBI. So this shows there is a loss of credibility of the CBI institution. And one more also you can example is Hawala scandal in 1990s. So this scandal was related to bribery payments to several high-ranking Indian politicians and bureaucrats. So it was linked to terrorists. So there was a Hawala scandal which was in news. CBI was handling the case, and what happened in this case? It was seen that how the bribery was involving political people, and there were also bureaucrats involved in it, and there was a there was a public interest petition was filed in the court with respect to this scandal. So what was the scene was, court agreed that CBI has failed in its responsibility to investigate allegations of public corruptions. So the Hawala scandal, CBI did not conform to its 100%. So it has failed in conducting investigations of allegations of corruption. So that's why what court said is, uh, it laid down certain guidelines to ensure independence and autonomy of the CBI, and ordered that CBI be placed under supervision of Central Vigilance Commission. So initially, I told you, in the beginning slides. So initially, Home Ministry, it was attached office. Then it came under the supervision of Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances. But whenever it investigates the cases of corruption, the supervision will be by Central Vigilance Commission. So this was also done because lack of credibility on the institution. So these were examples. Vineet Narayan case is one example. You should remember this. And state governments withdrawing general consent given to the CBI, that also you should remember. This shows that there is a loss of credibility. Loss of people are not trusting the CBI as an investigation agency. Okay. And another issue that CBI faces is shortage of personnel, and things like system of inefficient and biased recruitment policies used to bring favored officers, which is detriment to the organizational values like impartiality and all. So this is nothing but another way of saying there is a political interference. This is leading to inefficiency, shortage of right amount of personnel in the institution. Okay. So this is one more issue. So another issue is there is a restricted access, in the sense prior approval of central government is needed whenever CBI wants to conduct an inquiry or investigation on the employees of central government of the level of joint secretary and above. So before it wants to conduct an inquiry or investigation, it needs the approval from the central government. Obviously, this is an obstacle in combating the corruption, right? So if the central government do not gives the approval, then the CBI cannot conduct the inquiry. So this is also obstacle in fighting the corruption. And you can also see there is a decline in conviction rate over the years. So conviction rate in the means a person is found guilty when submitted in a court. So out of 100 cases that CBI files, 70 cases were the people were convicted. So 70% was its conviction rate. But you see over the years there is a marginal decline in the conviction rate also. So these are all the issues that plagues Central Bureau of Investigations. So obviously issues have to be dealt, and we have to find a solution to issues. So some of the suggestions have been put forward. So suggestions like you see that there is no political interference in the working of CBI, and what you do is provide a statutory status. So as of now, there is no single law which gives legal statutory status to CBI. It is linked to n number of laws, so that you do away with. And there is a departmental related parliamentary standing committee recommendations with respect to CBI. So what it said is, strengthen human resources by increasing the strength of CBI, better investment in infrastructural facilities, increase financial resource and administrative empowerment with accountability, and give more powers to CBI. So these were the few of the recommendations of even departmental related parliamentary standing committee. So that's what, like, what when you discuss a issue, the issue has to be wholesome. So if a mains question comes, so obviously you should know some basic facts about CBI, its established, why it was established, then you should know what functions it does. Okay, so and after that, though there is a difference, there will always be a difference between ideal and what is reality. So functions and its objectives are ideal, but in reality this will not be met. So few issues will be there. So what are the issues that plagues the institution so that it is not able to fulfill its functions? Okay, that you should know, and you should end your answers by giving the various suggestions by quoting various reports and all. So that will make your answer a complete one. So that's what, the knowing the mottos like industry, impartiality, integrity, these will all add value to your answers. So you can end up by saying, the motto is integrity and impartiality, but what is happening is the caged carrot, so I'm sorry, caged parrot term of the Supreme Court says that there is compromise on these values. So these all things add on to your answers. Okay. So that's it for today. Thanks for listening. You can also download the PDF of these documents in the link that is given below. Thank you. Have a good day.